Three shots, four par, I just do two. One putt, par four, birdie, woohoo. New driver, info, replace, M2, par five, fairway, what you fin do? Think I'll try to get on into. Start right, good line, good view.
Another EMU pod. This is at least number four. So this is at least number four, Bryce. I looked it up. I feel like there is somebody we're forgetting. So if there is somebody, if you're listening and you know, or if you are the guest by chance, please let us know. Because we got Jake McNulty, Ty Saloni, Cam Kellett, and Zach Sudinsky. Is that pronounced correct?
Yeah, you got it.
All right, right on. Okay.
As long as you don't call me Sandusky, we'll be fine.
Sandusky. Sandusky. It's been a while since we had a bit of a tongue twister, like last name, Bryce, that we fumbled. We've been on a good stretch here. We've been on a roll. Like we had Gordo, Cam Kellett, like we haven't had any tough ones in the last little while. There's been a few other ones in there, but nothing too bad. But Zach, maybe you can start us off. We obviously you can kick it off with EMU. We've had quite a few guys from EMU now. So, but just any listeners right now, just kind of give them an idea who you are.
Yeah, so I played golf at EMU. Played with like Ty and those guys, Coog, and then just grinding mini tours now. Well, helping coach for Eastern too. So been a volunteer assistant there for since I graduated in 20. So the last 3 years, I think. So kind of works well when I'm not in Florida. I kind of split time, so don't have to spend too much time coaching and still work on my game. And then summer times I don't do anything, so it's just all about my golf. But just grinding the mini tours, hoping to catch my break and run with it.
Yeah, that's something that we were kind of chatting as Bryce was pulling up here, like just about all the different guys on the mini tour. So shout out to Ty because he just qualified for the Ottawa Open, which is sweet. And I think we got a rep, Brycer, from the Ottawa Open. Kind of give us an inside look at like a PGA Tour Canada event for next week's pod, probably. So that'd be really cool. So come back, check that one out. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool. We've never really done that before. Like we've had Scotty Pritchard on, like he's the executive director there, and like kind of gave us an idea of like, you know, how the tour runs and things like that. But I think it'd be fascinating to like learn how an event runs. I think that would be kind of cool. So something that we probably haven't touched on, I don't think, Brycer. We're 142 deep here. I don't think we've done that before. So
no, I don't think so.
I think that'll be kind of cool. But yeah, Ty got in, which is really cool. So teammate of yours and fellow lefty of mine, and Ty's pretty cool, man. I don't know if he's still got that.
He's a beauty.
I don't know if he's still got that Sasquatch in the bag or not, but we were having a pretty good laugh over that thing, that Unicorn 5 wood. Yeah.
Oh, that Squatch. It was his baby through college.
Yeah.
Coach would always try to get a different club, and he'd use it for 2 days and be like, nope, Squatch is back in the bag.
Yeah. You just got to go with it, man. And I know he's rolling like an old ping there. I think he said he was switching it out a little bit.
I think he's using a spider now.
Oh, no, he was using a spider. Gordo was using that old ping, he said.
Yeah, Gordo.
Yeah.
Speaking of Gordo, he's leading at the quarter right now.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think it's a 3-day event. So
yeah, I got one left.
Yeah,
Vim tanked. He didn't do too well. But...
Sorry, Vim. But
he shot 64 with me the day before and then goes and shoots one over. It's like, come on.
Well, we were saying too, like, you know, we talk like mini tours and stuff like that. Bryce and I have had this chat. We're having this chat with Craig Stefferak about, we're saying Paps or Etienne Papineau, anybody who's been following kind of mini tour golf, he made the cut at the Canadian Open. Like some of these guys, like even Gordo right now, like some of these guys are they're playing some of the best golf on the planet, right? Like, you know, you're shooting 65 each week. Doesn't matter what the course is. Like it's...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you still got to post the number.
Yeah, you still got to hit it, and
still got to make the putts.
Etienne is doing that, and then we said that a few weeks ago now, and he's still every single round. It seems like he's like shooting a 65. Same with Gordo right now.
He won the opening Canadian Tour event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Etienne did.
Yeah,
so,
that's pretty sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he was playing. Well, he won at Trillium with you. Like you were saying that you were playing in his group.
Yeah,
the first
I played
day?
with him the first day. Yeah, I mean,
you like that course?
Yeah, that course is pure.
Yeah, it's nice. I played for Wellington, a junior A hockey team there, and my buddy used to live right beside it. We'd always go out and play it. It's a nice track.
Have you played Black Bear?
I haven't, but I heard it. I think Mac has played it.
Yeah, I played it
Yeah.
quite a few times. Yeah,
I
I've been
heard
out to
it's
Belleville
really
a lot. I
nice.
played all the courses out there. Trillium was nice.
Okay.
Black Bear's really solid when I was out there. It's got
Yeah,
a
it's tough.
few quirky holes. Like the first hole's a little quirky, and then number 11, that like par 8 or
11.
whatever, is like, the
Oh,
one that's
yeah.
like 700 yards or whatever if you tip it up.
Yeah, I was playing decent that final round there and get to 11. And my plan prior was, okay, I'm ripping 3-wood off this tee.
Yeah.
Because in the practice round, I kind of pulled my drive and I was like, oh, out of bounds kind of sneaks up.
Yeah, it
So
does.
just rip 3-wood. You can hit it further left. It's a 3-shot hole no matter what. So I get there second round. I'm playing good. Haven't like missed a golf shot. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna rip driver today. Of course, dead pull. It hits the trees, kicks OB.
Yeah.
Make like an 8 or 9, and it's just downhill spiral.
Yeah, I had that same thing happen there. I was even through 10, and I had that like safety pull as a lefty. And you a lefty or righty?
Righty.
Right. Okay. See, were you on the left?
Yeah, I hit it in the street left.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You'd have 500 yards in on your second shot.
Oh yeah.
So I like the water's on the right there, and it does creep up probably like 240 or something like that. There's you said the trees, so there is like a bank of trees in one spot, and I found those, and I made an 8, I think it was, and then I made a really nice 4 on the next hole. It's a tight, hard par 4.
Yeah, that is.
I wouldn't say it's a hard par 4, but you're like just hitting a 5-iron or whatever off the tee, and then I hit one tight, missed a short birdie putt, and kind of like I felt like I got the round back on track. So I was like, okay, I think it's 3 over at the time, and then I finished. I think I doubled on the way out for an 80 or something. I was like, all right, whatever, stupid game. That course, man, game. It can get you. So they used to have a Mac Tour stop there way back, and you can see some of the tee decks there that are just like overgrown and that like used to be in place there, but that thing gets long, like well over 7,000 if you go like all the way back. So it's a brutal course, man, but it's tough. Like some of those, but the Belleville courses, like on Trillium and Black Bear, like Black Bear used to be a top 5 condition course in the country. Still is always floating around there, but it's like it's on that like nice marsh or whatever, but the bugs will get you. Like it's if you're there.
Same with Trillium.
Bugs. Mac here for BioSteel. We absolutely love this one on the pod. The hydration mix has been in our golf bags forever. The hydration mix has been designed in the most natural way possible to help you stay hydrated throughout your round of golf. Zero sugar formula is made from clean, quality ingredients and contains no artificial flavors and colors, added vitamins and minerals to help support overall good health, normal function of your golf swing, and your immune system. Simply mix it into some water, and you can enjoy it through all 18 holes. Clean, healthy hydration. Zero sugar, natural health product, no artificial flavors or colors, no artificial sweeteners, no preservatives, caffeine-free, NSF certified for sport. Biosteel.ca, biosteel.com. Use the promo code SCREWS30 for 30% off your order. SCREWS30 for 30% off your order. Stay hydrated, my friends.
The best in men's grooming. We are back with a limited time offer on the Performance Package 4.0. If you're not watching this on YouTube or on Instagram or somewhere that we have this video posted, you should go look, because I'm going to show you everything in each one of these lineups. The Performance Package 4.0 comes with the Crop Reviver, the Crop Preserver, the Weed Whacker for the nose. This thing would take down Eugene Levy, and the Lawnmower 4.0. We scroll down to the Platinum Package. It includes the Crop Preserver that we already talked about. You can't see it in the screen. Over there is a Crop Reviver, the body wash, shampoo, and conditioner, plus the deodorant, said Weed Whacker, said Lawnmower 4.0. And on top of that, you're going to get free boxers, my favorite pair of all 3 pairs that I own, my favorite toiletry bag of 2 toiletry bags that I own, free shipping, plus 20% off using the promo code OTSGolf over at manscaped.com or manscaped.ca. The best in men's grooming. Let's get to the back nine. We'll see you there. Can we take it back to EMU? So you're a couple years removed. You said you're 2 or 3 removed now.
Yeah, I was a COVID kid, so my season got ended, college career got ended by COVID. So I was 2020.
All
I
right.
still can't believe they didn't let those guys redshirt and
Well, no,
play
I
on
could have
next
came
year.
back.
Oh, did they have the chance?
Yeah, I did, but when I was going through it, I was like, they didn't know they were going to play in the fall or not. So I'm like, I don't want to go back to school. I've already graduated. I can't get a full degree. So I don't want to go back to school for maybe 4 months of golf.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to turn pro and go for it instead of kind of waiting around.
So all the guys that we've talked to that have played there have loved it. Like it's been
It's
been
awesome.
great. So what's special about that school? Like we should probably have asked this question already, but like, is it just the vibe, coach? Like, has coach been there for a long time? Like, is it just
Yeah,
it's obviously a good
Coach has
golf
been
school?
here for Bruce has been here for 25 to 30 years, something like that. So he's been around for a while. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it is. I mean, he does a great job picking good tournaments. We never played a bad golf course. Like, you never showed up somewhere I was like, what the heck is this? Like,
Yeah.
you always played some nice places, stayed in nice hotels, flew Delta. So, like, you live the high life. Like, you go to mini tours and you're taking a step down, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it was, I think it's the guys. Like, the team, he does a
They
good job.
recruit well.
Yeah, he does a good job recruiting guys that blend. So like I came in as a transfer. I went to Stephen F. Austin my freshman year in Texas, and then transferred in. And so I lived with all the freshmen coming in the dorm. So we had 7 of us in a 4-bedroom.
Oof.
And we had the time of our lives. Then 6 of us moved out and lived in a house together, that kind of thing. So it was like we just all got along so well. So it was, I mean, obviously when you got 6 guys together all the time, like there's going to be some arguments, but they never lasted more than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, so, and like we still all hang out. Like I see Ty, Coog, Mace, a couple other guys all the time. Like I think that's the big thing. He gets guys that get along really well. And it makes a huge difference when you're spending that much time with each other.
Well, it also makes a huge difference in the college atmosphere because you guys are battling for spots all the time.
Yeah.
And if you guys are buddies and you're pushing each other and everyone's getting along, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it makes battling each other fun instead of more of like a competition, you know?
Yeah, because you'll see teams where that carries over into like outside of practice. But for us, it was just like, I mean, it was like, all right, you played better. Who cares? Let's go crush some beers or something. Like it doesn't matter at this point.
Which I feel like can make and break college teams with the team.
Very much so.
Right?
Well, yeah, because I mean, you'll hear horror stories of guys like trying to cheat, trying to like battle on other guys if they're doing something they shouldn't be. And like we didn't have any of that, which it's awesome because you go through 4 years and it's went smooth.
And I assume that comes from you guys all being so close and such good buddies with each other, wanting each other to do great all the time.
For sure.
So we have heard, I wouldn't say horror stories, but we've heard of like, you know, some golfers who don't.
Some iffy stories.
Yeah, some iffy stories and like maybe not the best, you know, college experiences and stuff like that, right? So it's kind of cool to hear that because everybody that we've talked to who's gone to EMU seems to, you know, be friends, right? Like I don't know if they would have crossed over, but I was telling you like Jake when I was carrying the bag for Jake and then Cougar just like shooting the shit on the range for a bit, like it was like old friends, right? It was like nice to kind of see them connect. And then, you know, Ty's like just one of the nicest dudes that we've met on the pod. Like he's just,
Ty's a gem.
Yeah, he's just awesome, man. So it's kind of cool to hear that, you know, and see the positive side of things. I think that there would be, you know, we've been lucky enough to have, we mentioned it a couple weeks ago, I think like one of the top coaches in the country, like Andy Walker at VCU on. And you know, he was saying kind of his job. When we were asking him like, what is your job? And I can't remember your coach's name there, Bruce. But you know, he was saying, like he's essentially just, you're not gonna really teach the golfers much. Like if there's something like maybe you'll kind of tweak a few things, but like it's just essentially the mental game and like how to become like men or women, right? And how to kind of grow and play as a team and, you know, put the team first. And that would be a very hard thing, I think, for a lot of young human beings to do. Like the ego would be so tough, and we've heard that, and I guess that is a bit of a horror story, is like when the ego is getting in the way of that.
Because I mean it is competitive and you compete with your teammates, so that's the hard point to it, because then you compete against your teammates, then you hop on a plane and now all of a sudden you're playing with each other, for each other.
Yeah.
So it changes in and out. There's not a lot of sports like that. But the other side to it is, I mean, it's pretty clear cut in golf. Like, you post a score, it's not based on a coach's decision. I mean,
for sure.
It's like, okay, his score is lower, so I'm taking him. It is what it is.
Yeah, were you guys kind of going like, you know, first up, like whoever's hot, like, or was there ever like, I don't know if we've really like talked about this. Anybody like have, you know, maybe like a certain type of game, like Ty's a lefty, maybe that's kind of rare down there.
Yeah.
You moving like, were you guys ever moving people in and out of the lineup based on like the course that you're playing, like layout?
Horses for horses.
Yeah.
Or horses
Not
for
really.
Horses,
Not really. We got to take individuals a decent amount to events, but so we had a rule in college. If you finished in the top half of the field, you were going to the next event.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, we were, especially my junior and senior year, we were good. And pretty much everybody was top half of the field. So it wasn't much interchanging in and out of the lineups.
Do you know, Mac, I don't think we've ever really brought this up because I know I was listening. I don't know. I think Zach Johnson did a quote about Ryder Cup, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not really picking the horses for the course. I want to like the best guys." Do you know of teams that do that? Like, are there teams that do that, or do you not? Are you not really aware?
I mean, the only time I really have heard about it is like if you're going to a tournament and one of your players is a member at that course. But for the most part, you can't really do that because, I mean, especially if you're a college coach and that guy hasn't been playing well, it's like, well, he's played this course well in the past, and then he still plays bad. That just it's gonna blow up in your face. Yeah,
sure. I don't know, man. I remember like back playing match play and stuff like that. You'd be playing like a member at a course, and they would just beat the pants off you. Like,
they know where to be, they know where to miss.
It didn't matter, man. Like, I feel like if I could take somebody to my home course and play a match against them, I could probably do okay. Like, it's just
you know your way around it.
Yeah, you would kind of find your way. But I think at that level, though, good players are just good players, man. Whoever's hot is...
it's less relevant for sure.
Yeah, whoever's hot is hot, and like...
I mean, if you hit fairways and greens, it doesn't matter if you've seen the course.
Yeah, it's like the margins are so unbelievably thin.
Same chat we had with Gordo, man.
Yeah, we kind of kicked off the pod saying that, like, how... Or maybe we were talking about it, Zach, before, but like the margins are just so thin. Like, guys playing on like mini tours or playing D1 golf that are playing some of the best golf in the world. Like, if they're out there every day shooting 65, 66, 67, like they're going to be playing well on the PGA Tour, right?
Well, look at Ludwig. I mean, the dude,
so good.
He was the number one player in college, and he's been, since he's turned pro, has he missed a cut?
I don't think so. I mean, he was in the running on Friday at the Rocket Mortgage this week. Like, he was right up there. And
I mean, the dude can play.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a guy coming straight from, I mean, he's a month removed from the national championship?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, man. It's
there's so many good players now. It's insane.
It's fun to watch, like watching Sam Bennett and stuff like that too. I know there's a lot of mixed opinions, but he plays really well, man. He's so
he's good. He's scrappy.
Yeah, that swing is like definitely not sustainable. I watched that, and I'm just like, I'm getting a little old, so that kind of like it hurts,
yes and no. I mean, you gotta think he swung that way his whole life, so his body's kind of adapted to it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. He's gonna be like getting into an elevator all like crooked and bent over one day, like all sideways. But obviously it's like he's got game, man. It's like, but that's the thing is, so you're looking at a player's one of the best NCAA players in the world, comes into the Masters hot and has a run.
He's playing a simple one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see. It's kind of cool, and like when we're talking to Craig about it, the only bone that we had to pick with golf, which I think we all, Bryce, Craig, Stefrak, and I had kind of the same thoughts that we were aligned with, is like it just takes so long to get through where you are right now. Like, you could be going out there and just firing every single weekend, and then like you're still years removed from getting to like where you can be making living playing the game.
Yeah, the hard part with it is you get one chance every year.
Yeah.
Like, Korn Ferry Q School is the way to go.
Right.
I mean, so you legit have, there's a 4-month stretch where you got to be playing good. And if you have one bad week, you got to wait a whole nother year.
Yeah. Like, there's got to be another way, right? I don't know.
Well, now they took away the other Q schools. Like, there's no Latin Q school, there's no Canada Q school. It's all going through that same Q school now.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, at least that's what I saw in an article. I mean, so from my understanding, if you make final stage,
yeah,
and you don't finish top 40, you're gonna get starts on the new tour, which is the PGA Americas. So there's a Latin swing and a Canada swing and a US swing.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah, and if you then if you win at first stage, you're also getting starts on that tour.
That's, I guess maybe that's better. I don't know if that's better. I don't know, because this season
again, it just gives you less opportunity.
Yeah,
there's less cards because it's only one tour instead of two.
Yeah,
I mean, it dwindles down the number of spots. I mean, still, if you're on Latin or Canada, you're not making any money.
No, no. I remember like reading, I can't remember what year it was, but like there was one guy in the history of PGA Tour Canada. I think he had 3 or 4 wins, had made like 150K, and that's so unbelievably rare, right? Like you'd have to just be absolutely dominating the field every.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of one of the things is like Bryce has played hockey like at a high level, and the idea is like you move up, you move down, you move up, like you're playing well, you get called up. Like it's immediate, right? So it's an immediate thing, and I would love to see that be able to happen with golf. There's so many positive changes happening right now, or I think they're positive. I don't know, man. I'm not sure, but there's so many changes happening in the game that would be nice to see. Because I would love to see a guy like, Gordo getting some like Korn Ferry Tour starts, or like Paps getting some Korn Ferry Tour starts. Some of these guys that like we get to talk to on the pod, like, and that we love having the conversations with, and they're playing like lights out right now. Like, let's see these guys get like an opportunity, man. Like,
no kidding.
The 65 is a 65, right? And sure, the courses might set up a little bit different, but like you said, you got to post that number, right?
Yeah,
it would be so.
Still got to put it in the hole.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you do. Like you do. But
they always say you play against the course, not everyone else. Like
yeah.
Guys are just going out there. If I'm shooting 65 every day, let me go play against that guy. I'll still shoot 65 no matter who I'm playing with.
Yeah. So Zach, what's you've been out of college for 3 years? 3 years now, yeah.
3 years, yeah.
So what's the difference? Like when you decide to turn pro, anything that you really notice, like we've talked about like the independence of things, the scheduling and how difficult that can be. Like, was there anything that you kind of struggled with, or anything that you really maybe even enjoyed when you had that freedom to go pro?
I liked being able to like pick and choose what events I wanted to play. Because golf, you go up and down, you work on stuff. So in college, it's like you've got, especially when you're up north. Like our season started, I want to say like second week of September typically, and we were done by middle of October. So you're playing 4 or 5 events quick. So if you're not playing well, it's like you're like, oh gosh, you're kind of dreading going to each event because you're just hoping you find something. But when you turn pro, it's like, okay, I'm not playing well, so I'm gonna take a little break, just kind of figure out what I need to work on, get after it. And obviously you don't want to sit out for a couple months. Like it might be 2-3 weeks where it's like, okay, I got to take some time and figure out what I need to work on. The hardest part is sound like a broken record, is the finances behind it. Yeah. When you're traveling, paying for events, hotels, food, it just adds up. And then these mini tours, you're getting charged $100 for a practice round. Like if you don't play well, you're sitting there. The drive home really stinks.
Yeah, just wasted all that money.
Yeah.
So,
like an expensive learning experience is where you got to look at it.
I guess so, right? And like, so do you have any? This is kind of one of those like cliche, I guess, questions. But do you have any like immediate goals for what's going on with your game right now? Like we're kind of like, I want to say kicking off the summer because we're into it now.
Yeah.
But what's what are you working on right now? What are you working towards right now?
So I started working with a new swing coach actually April 1st, Travis Fulton down in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And we're making some pretty big changes to the swing. I won't get all technical on you, but basically adding hip turn and trying to get deeper.
Bryce likes this stuff, man. Bryce, this is right in Bryce's wheelhouse here.
Yeah, swing and gear right up my alley.
Okay. So yeah, so prior, I mean, my club speed was at like 110, but I hit it really like I hit it straight. I hit 75% of fairways, but par fives and stuff like if I wasn't on, I wasn't gonna compete type thing.
Right.
And like I had to be semi on to at least like finish in the money, let alone compete. So I was like, I got to change something to get to where I can be like up there, even when I don't have my best stuff. So I started working with this new guy, and right now my flight's changed from a draw to a cut, but my immediate goal is to be able to get the ball to start left because my ball still wants to start right and then fade. So I've got a wipey miss and that kind of thing. So I would tell you that's my immediate goal is get consistently to start the ball left. As simple as it sounds, it's really hard.
Yeah, so your miss is a block right.
Yeah,
a
block
block cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're trying to just hit almost not, I guess,
wipey, just ugly.
almost a pull cut is kind of what you
Yeah.
kind of visually want to see.
Let's see. Yep.
Yeah, because I have the same thing. Like I've hit a draw for a while. I'm trying to hit a cut this year. Like I'm just trying to get rid of just going back to that draw constantly. But I have like such a hard pull. Like I just block it and pull it, 25 yards to the right. So like I can I hear that problem.
Yeah.
That's
I think that might be the only positive to my game is I can't hit a draw for the life of me.
Yeah.
So if I know I'm gonna miss, it's going right. I will never ever miss left unless I like.
That's me right now. I cannot tell. There's one club in my bag that's no longer in the bag that I could hit left, and that was my hybrid, and I hooked it OB at my last event, and it's been in timeout ever since. And so, but other than that, everything's going right. Which I mean, it wasn't something we were trying to do. We didn't go into the lessons like, okay, we want to hit a cut. It just kind of happened from what I'm working on.
Okay.
But honestly, if you can have a one-way miss, it's so much nicer to deal with.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I can line up if there's water left. Like I'm just like, okay, left center of the fairway, and it's not going in the water.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the dream, man. Yeah. That's the dream to be able to have that in the bag. I would love that. Gosh.
But
there's so many times.
There's so many times. Right.
Yeah, there's so many times where I'll just line up right OB, and I just know it's not gonna go there because I hit my cut, and like it's just.
Yep.
It's good too. Like for Brycer's playing a bit of a different game. Zach, ours seems like it's maybe a little bit closer, but Brycer's playing a bit of a different game off the tee than we are too. So like when you have that 300-yard carry, it's like it's different, right? Like you can play a little bit.
Yeah.
You can forfeit a little bit of yardage too. So you're saying you don't quite have that length, so that's why you're trying to.
It's kind of changed with what we worked on. So I had in the hip term. Like 2 weeks ago, I was out on the course with a GC quad. My cruise went from 110. It's up to like 116.
Okay.
And when I'm getting after it, I was up to 119.
Yeah.
That's a big jump.
Yeah. So that's been a huge difference.
I mean, you're probably seeing 10 to 15 yards with that, eh? Maybe more.
Yeah. I was seeing, I hit up on it too. So like I'm hitting like 5-6 up on it.
So wow.
My carry's touching like right around 300, 295 now.
That's a very efficient, man. That is an efficient golf swing.
What was it before? What were you carrying it before?
275.
Oh, that's a big jump. Yeah. Holy, that's awesome. Good for you.
I've seen a few more like low numbers this summer because of it, and my not on's been a lot better because I can take advantage of par fives and short par fours. So
sorry, what was that swing speed? What was the swing speed?
116 cruise, 119 when I'm trying to push it.
Okay.
What your short game? You got a good short game? Really confident short game?
Well, I was battling the yips earlier this year, so
that's where I struggle. It's like I can hit it far, but as soon like on par fours, if I have like under 100, it's just not there, and that's
my wedges are pretty solid.
Yeah.
I invested in a full swing launch monitor to kind of help dial them in because it's just hard to practice them anywhere.
Yeah.
So I mean, getting your numbers and knowing that helps a ton. And it doesn't take long either. It's one of those things you spend 30 minutes on the range doing it, and then you go play. It's crazy the difference it makes.
Are you a field guy with those, or do you kind of have your like 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock?
So I'd say I'm probably more of a field guy, but like I know if I take my 60 halfway back and then hit it, it's going 75.
Yeah.
But in between that and 90, it's kind of all field for me.
Nice.
I started like clocking it a little bit, I think.
I've tried to.
Just to like
I think it's the way to go.
Just to
I think
take
so,
out
too.
more room.
Yeah.
Like there's less room for error for me anyway. Because
Me
Yeah.
too.
I didn't like. I've only had the yips like on like 15 yards or less. Like it was tough at the start of the year. I was having a tough time.
Yeah.
But I found like when I was looking at probably like 110 and in, so like I guess like what 60 yards, Bryce, something like that. To like, what are you struggling with? Like 60 yards, 80 yards?
Anything under 80, because I have my
Yeah.
80. It's like a 3/4 60, or
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
just under 3/4. But anything under that, I struggle. But I played Oshawa on Sunday when I was at home, and I was pretty dialed in with the short yardages. So it's
Nice.
off and on. So
Yeah.
I
it's just
found
not
like
consistent. So
I found like when I clocked it a little bit, it just helped like remove some really bad shots.
well,
like,
it makes your missed 5 to 10 yards instead of 10
Yeah.
to 20. You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I feel like it's.
So when I say clocking it, I should say if somebody's just listening on Spotify or in the car or whatever, click subscribe, whatever, do all that stuff. we're so Zach, we're terrible podcast people. We never tell people we're like you should follow the pod. Maybe I don't know. So do that if you've heard this comment. But yeah, so when I say clocking, I mean like people talk about like Bryson kind of bringing it back to like 8 o'clock. That's like the idea, and finding your 50% swing, kind of manipulating it from there. So I find that is removed, for me as higher single digit handicap now, especially when I'm playing those cash games. I can't be giving away all these numbers too truthfully here right now. But it's that's kind of the idea, right? Is like get rid of those like bad misses, make my misses still somewhere on the green or right around there, and kind of find my way from there. So that's been all right. Like I feel like that's been good. But man, that's a super efficient golf swing. That's like hitting 5 or 6 up on it is like
Well, it was
good, man.
It was 8 or 9 up.
Oh really?
Damn.
But were you just coming away from the inside?
Yep, I was swinging about 5 right, so I'd drop it in, lean back, and I have a ridiculous amount of lag. So it's the only way I didn't drop kick everything, because I held the angle like crazy.
Yeah, you're gonna need wrist surgery soon.
Yeah, I got a little tendonitis going right now. It feels great.
Yeah, it's I've had that in the elbow. I only got this out of the elbow. I can't even show you guys. Everybody's watching. I cannot straighten my elbow. I got bad golfer's elbow. It's terrible. But it's just like I think it's just I hit like hard down on it, and I've been doing it for so long that I don't know. I think I just kind of jammed it up a little bit. But tendons.
I got a question for you here, Zach. You a decade guy or no?
Good question.
Yes and no.
See, because like that's what I was thinking. Is that why you're making like these swing changes? Like, so are you trying to find like a bit more of a pattern?
Well, my thought was that it might affect if he did use it.
Right.
It might affect. It might be,
Yes and no. I mean, I like it off the tee. I like his concept on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now into the greens, I disagree with the fact that you should should never aim at a pin. I feel like there's instances where it's like, okay,
green light,
like green light flag, let's get after it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, really, when you look at if you really like, I've dug into it a decent amount, especially my dad has. But when you really look at it, it's probably the right way to play golf.
Mm-hmm.
Like from the standpoint where you can't really force birdies, but you can kind of avoid bogeys. Like if you've got game, you cannot make bogeys.
Well, I agree with playing with a hybrid. I'm a big I don't think you should. I'm in the same boat as you. Is like there's green light pins to go at.
Yeah.
I'm not aiming 10 yards right and taking my and risking my 2-putt. I want to put it to 4 or 5 feet, make a birdie. But
well, what he says is so like one of the things I really like about it. He said like your example, if you're aiming 10 yards right, within your dispersion, you make a good golf swing. That ball could end up 5 feet.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So
I don't know 100% of what he preaches. I know like the general gist of it through doing some research and talking, but I don't know. If I'm in the zone and I see a pin that's like, oh, I'm gonna hit 2-yard draw and it's gonna just land right on it. I don't see the need for people to not do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think once you get inside like 125, there's definitely green light pins. Outside that, I don't know if there's really many.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
really nobody's that good.
That's kind
Like,
of
playing simple.
That's kind of one of the things that we've heard that trend over the last like few weeks, because we really got deep into Decade with Cam Kellett.
Yeah.
So
I help coach Cam.
yes,
At Eastern.
Yeah, so he was like really explaining it to us, and he was kind of saying like that hybrid model too a little bit, right? So
Yeah.
like, you know, and when you're that good, when you're as good as, you know, Cam or like any of the guys that are playing at this elite level, there's, you know, these platforms are great, but you have to be able to have success, like as we've talked about. You've got to go after it, right? So if it's, you know, not a Sunday pin, it's got to be accessible if you're inside 125, I think, or you have to have a look at it, right? So there's a lot of risk in, you know, going from it further out or whatever it may be, especially if you are playing most Sunday pins. When I say a Sunday pin, probably tuck somewhere or whatever it may be, but like, you know, if you're playing a TPT event and they have it in, you know, middle right or something like that, and you got 80 yards in, like, you want to make birdie, you want to try for birdie, right? And you're gonna have a higher percentage of making a birdie from 8 feet than you would from 18 feet or 80 feet, right? So I think we got to get Scott Fawcett on, Brycer. We got to talk to him about it.
Well, I love the concept of it. I think it's great. I shot the lowest round of my life really when I focused on it the most, but I just I do like it. I just think people need to adapt it in their own way, essentially.
Yeah. I think the best aspect of it is this whole expectation management part. Like, it's like when you're 150 yards and you hit it to 30 feet, like that's a good golf shot. Like, you can't be getting mad at yourself for hitting it to 30 feet. Sure. Like, that's a great golf shot. Now, the other part to it is he talks about, like, if your pin's tucked on the right and you're aiming 5 yards left of it, if you hit that ball, like, to a foot, or you hit that ball 5 yards left of your target to 30 feet, it's the same quality of golf shot because each ball is 5 yards off your target. So you should be as happy with the 30-footer as you are with the 1-footer. And when you kind of like adapt that process, a golf isn't near as exhausting. Because you're not like, oh man, I hit it to 30 feet. When you're sitting there like, well, if I'd have pushed it 5 yards instead of pulled it 5 yards, I would have been.
Oh, that's such a good, like, we've never heard it explained that way, Zach. That's such a good way to explain that.
Well, I also like it too how you brought up managing your bogeys, because like, just to jump right on your point here, you do hit it to 30 feet. I mean, the chance of 3-putting for 30 feet for a decent player is not that high. You know?
Yeah, I think
most of the time going to get out of there with your par.
Yeah, I think it's 32 feet. The average shots on tour is 2 putts.
Yeah,
I think that's right where you're at 2.
So that's what I like about it is like you do cut it, you have a birdie look, you pull it, you still have a birdie look, but you're not going to make bogey. You know, so
you're trying to like eliminate. You're trying to eliminate like that. So I do think it'd be a cool conversation. So we're gonna reach out. We definitely got to reach out and have a chat. Your dad get in the game a little bit with you, Zach?
Yep. He played professionally actually, way back like before kids. But he went to like San Diego Golf Academy. He's a Youper, and then so that's how I got into the game.
You start playing pretty young with them,
About 4, I think. When I started playing.
Nice, man. Nice. So is he like? I wanted to ask you because obviously you've traveled up here a little bit. So if we didn't mention it before, you're kind of right in Brycer's area in Michigan there. So you have played some of the events. Does he travel with you? You come up and carry the bag for you and stuff?
So he came up for Michigan Open, was on the bag. They're they live in Florida, so he doesn't get up here for any of the mini tour stuff. But like some of the bigger stuff I'll play, and like he'll be on the bag probably all through Q school. And then he's already told me he would he'd have to really consider about quitting his job if I made the PGA Tour. He's like, man, that'd be a whole lot more fun. And I'd definitely have him if I did. He'd be the first one I'd ask to take the bag.
Of course, man. Of course, you've got to, right? Like that'd be pretty sweet.
I mean, he knows my game better than everybody.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. I mean, he and I are like best friends, like more so than. I mean, obviously he's my dad, but like sometimes I kind of forget that, and I'll get chirping at him, yelling at him at the course and stuff type thing. And he'll look at me, he's like, hey, I'm still your dad. I'm like, dang it, you're right.
Go to your room. What? Damn it! What?
Yeah.
Like we're on the 7th hole
Yeah.
here, Dad. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. I like kind of hearing that stuff. And it's like Gordo was talking about. He was playing the one at
Yep.
Coppenwood, the Canadian Open, RBC Canadian Open qualifier.
Yeah.
And he's saying how Pops was going to be on the bag and stuff. You kind of like hearing that stuff, man. It's cool. It's
Yeah.
it'd be. I'm sure if Ted Scott came knocking down your door or something like that, you might have a thought to think about. But it'd be it'd be cool, man. It'd be cool to have that on the bag for sure.
No kidding.
So what brings you up when you're playing some of the TPT events? Obviously, is there any of the minor league tour down there really in Michigan at all, or are these some of the
No.
closer events for you coming up here?
Yeah, those are about the closest events, and they're more affordable.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not dropping $1,000 entry fee. Like if I want to go play G Pro, it's $1,200
Yeah.
plus travel. So
Are you gonna go
It's,
play in the Roseland one in Windsor, the TPT one?
so we actually have to move out of the house I'm in right now. Our lease is up the end of July, so we got to be out here July 31st. So, and then I'm playing this, like, I don't know if you've heard of the KCC invite.
Oh.
It's like a glorified member guest. Like they get a lot of college guys, mini tour guys, some Corn Ferry guys will be there, and it's like a member. You play with a member. So I'm playing that the week before. So I gotta be smart and probably skip Windsor, unfortunately. But otherwise, I might be in a little bit of the doghouse for that one, which understandably so, because we've got to pack up and move if I'm gone for 2 straight weeks at the end of the month. Probably not my smartest decision.
Yeah. It's we still got to make good life choices here, boys.
Yeah.
It's good choices on the course and in life. But
Yeah.
you mentioned a Sioux tournament. I don't know if we had Bryce connected at the time, but you're playing
Yeah.
a little one with Ty Saloni, so
Yep,
they're
we
going
got
up to the Sioux, Bryce.
Michigan side or Canadian side?
Michigan side.
Nice. Where are you playing at?
Yeah. Sault Ste. Marie Country Club.
Oh, nice.
They got a best ball event, and then they got a like a regular invitational event, 2 days for both of them. So Ty and I are going to be partners for the best ball, and then hopefully he wastes all his birdies the first 2 days, so I can beat him in the individual event.
What did he shoot the other day? He got into the Ottawa Open. He went pretty low.
He's got like 69, 64.
That's it. I saw some who posted it. I can't remember who posted. And they're like, I shot 67, 69 or something. Still wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, it was Craig Stefferak. That's a Small World. We
Okay.
talked about him. Yeah, and he was just like, yeah, I think he was like, I don't know, 8 under or something like that. Still wasn't good enough, but that's some good scores, man. That's a good partner to have right now. It's good to get hot at the right time. But you mentioned Q School, Zach. Can we? Did you try and qualify this year?
No, I have. This will be my first year doing it.
Okay.
Kind of like my first year out, I didn't have any business doing it.
Okay. Yeah.
But I wasn't good enough playing and then last year I was playing well and just kind of didn't have the funds to drop $6,000 plus travel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So kind of put it on the back burner, and then I'm like 95% sure I will be doing it this year.
Nice, man. Yeah, it's
So
it's been cool. We've had a couple friends of the pod, a couple of guests that did pretty well. Did Zach get through to? He got through to stage 2, I think.
Stage 2, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ty got through to
stage 2.
stage 2.
Did you hear? Did he tell you his story with stage 2? What happened?
I feel like he did, but I forget what it was.
How they lost his clubs?
Oh no, I don't.
No,
think
he didn't say that. No.
Oh, man, the airline lost his sticks.
No.
Did he
So
use someone else's?
No, I think he got him back the day before. Like he flew down like 4 or 5 days prior, and it was the one event he flew to. And they lost his sticks, and he got him back, and he got like 9 holes in the day before.
Oh,
That's tough, man. Especially when
Yeah.
you're sitting down there too, and you're a lefty, so it's a little tougher to
Yep.
even just get a set to just go out
Yeah.
and swing. But
I think he had. I hope he doesn't mind me telling the story. I don't see why he would. But I think he had like his grandpa or something went to his basement and grabbed his old irons, old wedges, his dad's driver, and they were like driving to meet halfway or something.
wow. That's a
Damn.
great.
So I could have
story.
some
No, he did. I
sticks.
don't think he did tell us that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
that's tough, man. Because like even still, like yeah, because you wouldn't want to just get a set from anybody and play. Like
Well, yeah. I mean, he couldn't go to like a golf store because he needs like extra stiff and everything, left-handed, like. And then, I mean, on top of that, you're dropping $3-4 grand for him.
Yeah, or at
Like,
least, yeah.
Yeah, and then like I remember I was chatting with James Nicholas right around the time, so he posts a lot of like really cool content if you're not sure who he is. Right around the time he had a Corn Ferry Tour start, and there's like this cool, like they just posted a video of him, like his clubs were lost, like he got there as his group was up on the first tee. Somebody gave him a pair of shoes. The club pro there gave him his clubs. He was like,
yeah,
standing
I saw
on
that
there. He's
video.
like, does anybody have a glove? Somebody gave him a glove, man. It was just like
He
kind of.
makes really good content.
He does,
I
man.
follow him.
Yeah, he makes awesome content. He did say he'd come on the pod, just haven't chatted with him a bit. So he'd be a cool one to kind of, because he gets the drone up and stuff like that. Like he does some really cool content. But yeah, like I guess if you got no choice, you got to like he just was like, shit, like I got no choice. I'm teeing off right now. I might as well take some of these clubs. And I think he shot all right. He missed by 1 or 2, but yeah, like in that case though, you get down there like 4 or 5 days early. I can't imagine how stressful that'd be. Like,
oh, you're just sitting around and you're like, well, am I gonna play? Am I not?
Trying to track them down, like, and then like, trying to, I guess, arrange if you have to find another set. Plus you're a lefty. Plus you rely on this unicorn 5-wood Sasquatch that has no business being in anybody's game or bag anymore. But
steel shaft and all.
Yeah. Well, he's telling us how he like fused it back together at one point, or his dad did down in the basement using some.
I think they've done it a couple times.
They had some like old epoxy down there, and he went out and hit it, and he had to run out on the driving range like 75 yards down the driving range to pick it up or something like that, which is, I don't know, really cool story, man. But it's like you don't see those too many. Like you would hear that too in somebody's bag right away. That thing would. It doesn't sound as bad as the driver, I guess, probably, but
no, it doesn't sound too bad. But I mean,
it's one of those.
Like there's some modern equipment that could be helpful.
It's one of those things, though, man. Like we said this to Callum Davison because he was a cross-handed golfer, and Brycer had like a great quote where he's just like, "I'll play it cross-handed today" or whatever. I feel like you just like pop the head cover off that thing and you're at like one of these events, somebody's just gonna think like, oh my god, who am I about to play with or something, you know? And then he's just
I'm not even sure he puts a head cover on it.
Probably doesn't. Like you can't. I feel like it's a major flex, man. You gotta flex that thing and just be like, this is it. This is the baby. I gotta just like, it's not like it's a putter.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's not like it's a putter you're trying to keep in good shape, but
But
so when you did come up, you played up here. The Acorn Open was at Dalewood, which is Brycer. You know Dalewood, just out this way.
I haven't played it, but I know of it. Yeah.
So you had an opening. I checked out. Opening 65, and that's when you and I kind of got chatting a little bit, Zach.
Yeah.
And you open with a 6-2 on a pretty. I don't want to say easy par 5, but like obviously it was not
par 5.
It was.
I think I have played Dalewood actually. It opens it's par 5 dogleg right off the start. I think.
Yeah. So it's a little tight. So. And then you just went like you went 4 deep on the back, 31, I think, on the back, right? It's a par 71.
Yeah, I think so.
So pretty good day. Like you finished, I think you finished T4, right? So what you started with a bogey, like, and then just do you feel like you had it like right off the hop and you just kind of like missed it on the first? No, okay.
To be honest, at no point during that day did I feel like I had it. I think I hit 2 fairways. It was
scrambling,
kind of all over the place. Ended up with some good lines out of the rough, and it just kind of I gave myself a lot of 15 footers and happened to make them that day, type thing.
Yeah,
but it was a scrappy 65 if those are ever a thing.
That rough there isn't too punishing though, which was good.
No, it's not too bad. But there's a couple holes where where I flirted with some danger and. It takes luck, so I'll say I got lucky, pretty lucky that day.
You gotta be lucky to be good.
Yeah, you definitely do. And like if you're shooting a 65 though, regardless, I figured a couple had to drop or whatever, but it looked like a clean score. It looked like a really clean scorecard otherwise, right? So.
Yeah, the scorecard looked way better than the golf did.
No, what do they say? No pictures, right? I don't want to be that guy. You hear that everywhere, but that's cool though. I just kind of, I like the idea of you like kind of coming up, and it's cool to kind of chat with somebody who's like maybe not. A lot of these guys live in this area that we end up talking to that are playing a lot of these events, so it's kind of cool when you sort of come up and you have obviously a really good opening day and finish pretty strong in the second day. I think Drew Nesbitt, I think, went like real low on the second day.
Yeah, he's playing good too.
Yeah, he's playing
really
lights
good
out right now. Really, really good right now. So,
Yeah.
But if you got a few minutes, Zach, just before we let you go, I've told Bryce he's got to get out to Arcadia Bluff. So I was doing some Instagram snooping. I saw that you had played out there recently.
Go.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, nice spot.
I haven't played the South course, but I've just played the Bluffs track.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, my buddy Anthony had played both, and he does some rating and stuff like that at some of the courses. And he said the South was like really nice too. But yeah, he said Arcadia Bluffs was something pretty special spot. So it was definitely something that we got to get Bryce out and play, man.
Yeah, you got to get out there. It's definitely. I mean, even if you took the views away of the Bluff course, it's unreal.
The course is just real nice. Yeah,
it's
like
fun.
a really linksy style, isn't it? Like complete link style.
Yeah, very linksy. A lot of like good amount of like elevation changes, but it's it's just you gotta play it. It's hard to describe, to be honest, but
you just gotta get out there and do it.
It's sick. Yeah.
So before we let you go, Zach, what's on tap? At Zach Suds, ZACHSUDS4 on Instagram. Anybody who wants to go over and check it out. Of course, we'll put it in the show notes below, all that same stuff. What's on tap the next little while? What's the schedule looking like?
Pretty calm rest of this month. We got to get packed up. So nothing till the end of July. I got the KCC invite. And then Sault Ste. Marie is the first week of August, second week, I think it's the 6th and 7th. Then after that, it's just kind of winging it, trying to figure out where we're going to be at and everything. So trying to play it by ear for that one and go from there.
I like that. Like no pressure, just kind of, like you said, you kind of practice when you're playing well, you find your way in, right? Yeah.
Got some bigger life things to take care of right now. So it's just golf,
Yeah, man. I like that. I like that outlook. But Zach, this was great, man. Really appreciate it. I didn't realize we were already coming up on close to an hour there. So I hope you had time.
No
we were
worries.
just kind of working through it, but
nothing.
Yeah, I appreciate the time, man. Hopefully we can run it back, and as you play, when you maybe like when you go through Q school or something like that, we'll have to kind of catch up. But you guys got to meet up and try and play it around or something like that if you're that close, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. This is great.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir.
He's out in my ball in the course, so I tee up. I lose the ball and I re-up. I miss a fairway, I probably end up in the ocean or maybe the beach. And I'm on a par 5 and I'm finna go reach it. Second was blind, I ain't see it. Feel like it might be an albatross, worst case scenario.